Okay, let's start with fixed deposit. Do you know what is fixed deposit? Yeah, that means you put your money in the bank and then you get an interest. How much is the interest? 2.95 or 3%. Okay, the advantage is that it is safe. Okay, 100% safe. And the disadvantage is that it is low returns. Okay, then the next one, stocks. Now, do you think investing in the stock market is very risky? Yes, very risky, right? Okay, it depends. It's not that risky, it depends. Because there are so many types of stocks. Okay, later I'm going to show you there are certain types of stocks that are less risky than others. Okay, depending on what types of stocks that you are buying into. So the advantage about stock investing is that you get a capital gain. Capital gain meaning that you buy at 10 ringgit and then you sell at 15 ringgit. So you get a 5 ringgit of capital gain. Okay? But the flip side of it is that it is risky. It involves risk. Okay? Because sometimes the share price may not be always on the rising. Sometimes it will go down. So for example, now, in this situation, in the current situation, do you think the stock market is a good place to make money? Provided if you have selected the right stocks, right? If you have selected some blue chips, it may not be. Okay? Later I'll show you some of the charts, and you'll be surprised at how some of the blue chip stocks are performing. Okay? Then the next one is unit trust. Have you heard about unit trust? Yeah. So what do you mean by unit trust? Unit trust, in fact, is like a fund. If you invest into a unit trust, you are actually letting the fund manager to run the fund for you, because unit trust is run by a group of fund managers. So they are actually running the funds for you. You just pay them the money and then they will work for you. The good thing is that you do not need to actively selecting the stock. Okay, that will take a lot of time. You need to study all the fundamental analysis and technical analysis, and then before you select the right stock. The fund managers will do for you. Whereas the flip side is that you got to pay them for a fee. Every year you got to pay them for a fee. It's called management fee. It will be automatically deducted from your portfolio, your funds. Okay, but anyway, the return can be. Some of the return can be as high as about 8% per year. That's on average, 7 or 8%. Okay? And the next one is bonds. Have you heard about bonds? What do you mean by bonds? Okay, let me ask you, do you think bond is safer than stocks? Yeah, that's in theory, but in real world it may not. Okay? Now, have you heard about Lehman Brothers? Yeah, that happened in 2008. Now, during that time, a lot of people who bought into the bonds in Hong Kong or even in Singapore, they couldn't get back their capital because there is a default, a bond default. Default means that the issuer went bankrupt. They cannot give you back your money back. Does that sound dangerous or risky? Yes. So bond can be as risky as that. So you have to be careful. And there are various types of bonds as well. The risky ones are the corporate bonds. Okay, that means issued by companies. Okay, those large companies. Whereas the safer ones are the government bonds. Okay, government bonds. Like a few years ago, Bank Negara issued Bank Negara bonds, which is called Merdeka Bonds. And that Merdeka bond is very good. They give out 5% of interest per annum, which was quite good. Okay. Now, besides bond, there is also the next investment that we can think of is properties. How many of you that you always heard about your father and your parents talking about investing, buying properties? How many of you? Do you think buying properties is a good form of investment? It's not a good form of investment because you think that now the property market is not good, right? So that's why you think that it's not good. Now, let me tell you, the transactions, for property transactions, is still going up. but it's not on the higher price range, it's on the lower price range properties. So those below 300K properties are selling like hotcakes. Because why? Because now the new development by the developers, the prices all like in the 500,000 or even 700,000 or 800,000. You can't find any that is less than 300,000. So only those older properties that were, the older ones that people bought at 100K and then probably they are selling at 200 over K now. Okay, so those are properties that are in a very popular nowadays. Now, back to this properties. Now, many financial planners, they give advice to their clients. They said, okay, now you gotta invest in unit trusts, you gotta invest in bonds, and then you gotta have insurance, and then a will, and things like that. They never hardly talk about properties. And in fact, in the exams, the CFP exams, we had 6 modules, okay, 6 modules, and then none of the modules talk about properties. But in fact, properties is so important because for every individual, besides that you also about financial planning, besides talking about investing in unit trusts and stocks and everything, you must always think of how to use leverage. Leverage means borrowed money. Okay, how to use leverage to fulfill or to reach your financial goal. And that is done through buying properties, having a mortgage loan. Okay, so that is another whole topic. If I have time, I wish I can have another session on properties because that is so important. Because if you look at some of you who are planning to go overseas or for further education, those of you whose parents are able to let you go overseas are probably those parents with properties in their portfolio, right? Because you just imagine the interest rate in the bank is only 3%. If you rely on cash savings, you will not reach that level to send overseas because our money is depreciating every year. Okay, besides inflation, we have currency depreciation. So in order to fight that, you got to invest in assets. Assets can be in the form of properties or stocks. Okay. Now, then we look at some of the risky investments. The first one is the foreign currencies. Okay, forex. I'm sure when you have heard that so and so lose some money in the forex. Okay, sometimes you will see that advertisement that so and so make millions of ringgit or dollars from the forex. Now, you can make a lot of money from forex, no doubt, but this is very, very risky because it's a speculative form of investment. Speculative meaning what? That means you are actually predicting the price movement of the underlying securities. So, for example, if you are looking at US dollar to strengthen in the future, so you probably will buy or long USD in terms of another currency. Okay. So, however, if it didn't happen according to your view, then you are losing money. Okay. So, in fact, this speculation, it means that you are actually betting on the price rise or price fall. You are betting or you are guessing. It's not investment, it's speculation. Okay? Investment is something that it will generate income for you. Okay? For example, you buy into property, you get some rental. You buy into stocks, you get dividends. You put your money in the FD, you get interest. So these are generating income for you. Okay? So speculating investment doesn't do that. Then the gold. Gold is also quite a risky one because it's commodities. Commodities is high risk form of assets. Okay, because the prices for commodities can be fluctuating. And the next one is futures. Futures contracts are something like a hedging. Okay, hedging. So this one is like if let's say in Malaysia we can buy into the futures contracts in the futures market. And a lot of people are taking advantage of that. And in fact, I'm also an active doing futures trading during my free time. Because if you look at the stock market, it is flat. Okay, there isn't much volume, or it's either you got news and then a few stocks will jump and then that's it. Then it will die down. So many people have turned into futures. Futures will give you, it's a form of very speculative investment, but then it will also give you some extra money if you know how to learn or how to read charts, technical analysis. Okay, so in fact, for those of you who are interested, you can go further study, like online study, or reading more books on technical analysis. And because by knowing technical analysis, you can actually predict the price movement. Okay, and another thing about futures is that, what is futures? Futures is a form of hedging. So for example, if let's say you are a palm oil producer, and then you want to lock in your price at a certain price. So you probably buy into the futures market at a certain price to lock in your price first. So in the future, if let's say the price has gone down, you are not so worried because you are hedged against any price fall. Okay, so that's hedging. So in the real world, there are genuine people who buy into contracts. They are the genuine plantation growers. That means they want to do some hedging for themselves. And then there's another group of people, they are the speculators. They just speculate on the price movement. So the futures contracts, the volume is huge because there are two types of people there. The genuine growers and also the speculators there. Just like the forex. Okay? Because there are also some genuine people who want to hedge their currencies, like their USD for imports or exports purposes. Okay. All right. So these are the various forms of investment that you can utilize them, and then to increase your net worth or your wealth tremendously. Okay.